Hello and welcome back to Rage Gaming and Dragons Dogma 2. And welcome also to the end. Today it's time for me to properly talk about the true ending of this game, the real endgame that's hidden away behind one specific ending choice. It unlocks a bonus section of the game known as the Unmoored World with a final challenge. Within a time limit, rescue everyone at the major settlements, defeat the new unique boss enemies, and enjoy some ridiculous loot too. This also comes with the enhanced loot of enemies you're killing and new endgame equipment, the best weapons and armor you'll find. It's well worth doing just for the story, if not the extra challenge. So I will be explaining how to get to the true ending in short, but first make sure you completed the elf storyline with the arbitrary to heal it, and also make sure you've unlocked the magic archer and warfare vocations, because those NPCs are going to be important. This guide will be the best order I can see to do these events. It means you'll avoid losing any settlements by doing it in the wrong order, but it also leaves you with the best setup to actually roam around this world at your leisure at the end. If you do things in this way that I'm going to outline, you'll have maximum time here, while the main hub will have every main NPC ready and available. That means things like every smith in one location, all the main vendors, the best options, as well as getting you the main achievements in here too. So with all that said, let's get started. First up, a short overview of how to get here. Basically, you need to do the true ending of the game. That means you progress the main story all the way to the end, the big event, the choice with the dragon. Here you will choose to attack the dragon rather than walk away. That's choice one, but the follow-up choice is to either let the dragon take you to the place of battle, or mid-flight on the way there, climb to its chest where its heart is and pull out the godsway blade. In a twist, you use it on yourself instead of the dragon, messing up the cycle. This will send you to the Unmoored World where you will face the various trials within. You have roughly a week to achieve everything before the encroaching fog consumes everything. Some villages will be consumed first based on the location, so the order you do it really matters. Also, all the water is dried up in this world, which means new paths and locations are available, but also the toughest monsters are on the prowl. New monsters you won't see anywhere else exist, but also you'll get better loot. You want to be nicely equipped and upgraded before coming here, and I would say level 40 is a nice, relevant level, but nothing will stop you from coming here sooner if you want. The Unmoored World has rules though. You can't save and reload like normal, so by sleeping, so resting at an inn or a home, that progresses the time limit by 1 day. The clouds move in closer, consuming more, and when you sleep like this, you create a new save. So if you die at any point, you're going to go back to the last sleep that you had, which could be days ago if you make that mistake. I'm going to suggest a good midway point to sleep, but it's up to you how much you want to do it. Just don't overdo it so you don't progress the cloud too much. Okay, so when we get in here, you'll notice a few things. First, the island that came out of the water in the main story is now a fully fledged town, or at least was. This shrine will be our new hub. Second, your main pawn is missing, and also there's a bunch of these big red lights in the sky, which are the location of major battles or events we'll be dealing with. For the order of the events, I think getting the hub activated first is just a good idea. You can go over to the Wayside Shrine, speak with Rothius, he'll summon some of the main characters, including the Dragonforged. The Dragonforged will now be here, and he offers you new updated items, the best weapons and gear in the game. It all costs Worm's Life crystals though, but you will get a ton of these from the quests we're going to be leading you through and the fights. Once you're ready, let's go get your main pawn back. The Dreams Apart quest is for that. We just go to Back Patal, going into the Forbidden Magic Lab, and on your way there, try to avoid fighting as best you can. You want to maximize your health. For this longer period, we're going to go without saving. So go to the marker with Faces and get your pawn back. Then we'll follow him or meet him upstairs, just outside the palace. This will be our first red beacon. We just have to destroy that dragon statue that drops down. Escorting Faces, he brings us to the statue around a different route, and we'll be attacked a bunch on the way. But at the end, we destroy the statue, and you'll even get 35 Worm's Life crystals and a lot of gold. That'll be a theme with most of the quests. Next though, we're going to need to start evacuating the towns. There's Sacred Arbor, the Elves, there's Vernworth, Back Patal, and there's also the Volcanic Island camp and the excavation site too. We need to do it in the right order. Therefore, we're going to start with the excavation site because it's the closest hub to the edge of the clouds, which will destroy it on the next rest. I strongly suggest you use fairy stones to get around here. In any case, go to the excavation site, and here we'll find one of the guards trying to defeat an attacking golem. After we defeat it, we can speak with him, and it turns out he's the only guard left. He's here with all the remaining pawns. Apparently he's got a lot of guilt about what he did. The issue is the pawns can't leave. They were commanded by the overseer to stay and protect him, and he died. We're stuck with that last command. This guard will give us a key to go unlock all the locked doors. We just need to find the staff. And to find it, we just go to the inn and then go down one level. It's this house at the bottom right that's locked. With the key, we can go in and find that the overseer's dead in here, but there's the staff. Bring that back to the guard, and he can now command the pawns to leave, and you can escape, successfully evacuating. Again, we'll get 30 crystals for this and 15k gold. That's the first outer town solved. Next is the Sacred Arbor. Once again, I strongly suggest you teleport over here rather than run all the way over there. You're on limited time. This time we're going to start with a beacon, and it'll have a real boss fight, an unmoored dragon enemy type, but it's kind of like a giant eel snake. To defeat these, you need to destroy all the pink eyes on its body. It's kind of covered in this pink goop, which works like acid if you stand on it. This protects it, and you need to deal enough damage to the eyes on its body to retract that protective layer to then get to the crystal on the head. Using stamina food to maintain your climb so that you can get to these eyes is a good idea. If you're a caster, just make sure you're aiming correctly. But when you defeat it, you'll get a ton of crystals this time. So even if you came in here with none, you should be able to afford a weapon now. With the defeat of this monster though, we can go into the elf town to help convince the elf leader to evacuate. But we'll need the children to help. We'll meet them in the center of town, and they'll even do translation for you if you need that. If you've done the quest with the elves, they already, respect and appreciate you, but they need you to take a cutting of the Abhart tree and take it to the shrine where, they placed a marker. At that marker, you'll find a circle of stones on the ground where you place the cutting, and when that's done, you can go back to the elves and tell them that it's taken root. Now they'll agree to evacuate, you get even more crystals and more gold. So at this point, we've destroyed 2 beacons. This holds back the cloud approach when you do that, so you can actually safely sleep without losing any territory. This will give you a nice new save to rely on, and this is the first sleep that I recommend. You could do it somewhere relevant to the next challenge. In this case, we're going to go to Vernworth, so you could do it there. So, our third red beacon, Vernworth. As you can see on your map, it's pretty far southwest of the city and an area you couldn't go before. But with all the water gone, you can go down to the docks on the west side and go through a kind of valley this created. You will have to get through a lot of enemies like grim ogres and stronger skeletons and unique unmoored enemies. So do be careful, kill enemies that you need to on the way. But when you get around to the beacon, you're going to summon a small dragon this time. It can summon intense tornadoes and strike from the sky, but like the other beacon monster, you just need to deal damage to the eyes and fast, and since it's a smaller, more manageable enemy, it's very easy to deal that DPS. The pawns help a lot more with this enemy type too, so it's not so bad as long as you're applying the pressure. But with that, this beacon will be solved, you get even more crystals, and now we can go into Vernworth to help with the evacuation. To get the ball rolling, we'll need to meet with Captain Brandt, who is just in the inn kind of waiting around, and he'll see you as soon as you come in. He lets you know that Sven is actually in charge now. We better go meet him in the castle. So we do that, go up to the private quarter section, finding Sven's quarters up there. He'll give you the new main quest, but with all the main quests that you've been doing, he already trusts you. The problem is he doesn't want to leave Disa, his mother, behind. She's just in the next room. She'll just tell you to go away and be quite rude. But if you grab her and move her to Sven, that solves the problem. Ridiculous. Next though, we need to go to the Western Ox Cart Merchant. Sadly, we'll find he's sold all of the ox carts to one of the supporters of Disa. If we threaten him by pulling out our weapons, he runs away and then we can take the ox carts. With that, we can go back to Sven to report that everything's done, and that's this evacuation done. At this point, you'll be drowning in crystals and gold, so you should be able to buy whatever you need. Our next destination then is the Volcanic Island camp. As we arrive at camp, we can head towards the north exit and meet this NPC, Ernesto. He lets us know there's a couple living outside the camp and they need to be brought in. We should of course know this is the dwarf and elf couple, which is the magic archer and the dwarven smith. We just have to go over there and tell them to come with us and escort them, but on the way you'll see that there is a beacon with another dragon summon. So we'll do that as we go. Once again, target the pink eyes until eventually the crystal on its head is exposed and finish it off. As it is the same fight, you should be fine. Now we can head all the way west and go meet the couple. They'll ask us to escort them back, so hopefully you killed some enemies on the way, so it's a smooth process. Just be careful as you go. When we reach the camp, we'll find Ernesto now has another problem, and this time it's the Warfarer Master. Just like the Magic Archer, if you unlock the Warfarer vocation, this will be easy to convince him. He doesn't want to work for anyone, so when you speak to him, you have a choice to tell him to protect the knights, or the, nice couple. So when you tell him to protect the dwarf and elf, he can't help but agree because it's kind to do. After that, we can speak with Ernesto and complete this evacuation. This leaves us with just one last place to evacuate. We already dealt with the beacon of it, it's Back Batal. Upon return, we'll find the city's in turmoil, and now we'll have the civil unrest quest. Speaking with Nanella, we get things started, and we have to go to 3 locations to solve 3 kind of problems. This first one is a violent argument where you just have to agree to witness their duel. They'll kind of settle it without killing each other. Next, we have a couple of parents fighting over some food. You need to tell them that they're both right because they're just starving, and then just give one of the kids some food, anything edible. Just make sure it's not rotten. Finally, the last two that we go around and meet are just going to attack you. So deal some damage to them, but make sure you don't kill them. Once they see that you're serious, they'll stop fighting. And that calms everyone down. Now you can go hand this in, and that's this evacuation done as well. So that's all the evacuations. You'll probably get the achievement at that point. Our last challenge to go deal with for all the trials of this world is actually at the defeated body of Talos. It's marked on your map, you just go over there, and we just kind of encounter a cinematic. Our pawn will make a move for us, entering the Talos and activating it. And then we get to watch a pretty cool cinematic where the Talos fights one of the dragon enemies. You don't actually have to do anything, we just watch. And with that complete, we get the next achievement telling us we've beaten all the challenges of this world. One new final beacon will activate right at the heart of our new hub, the Shrine. So fortunately for us, at this point, everyone's evacuated, all the achievements were achieved, and because you've only rested once or maybe twice, you've held back the clouds really well. This gives you loads of space to freely explore the Unmoored World. If you want to go hunt the higher value monsters, gather any final resources, get all your gear upgraded, you can do now using all your remaining sleeps. The temple town will be nicely filled up by the evacuations, so all the vendors and blacksmiths are going to be in one place, making, upgrading that endgame gear much easier. Anything that you have at this point that you take to the final fight will be brought with you into New Game Plus. So it is worth doing this kind of final preparation and making use of this hub. And if you don't sleep, you can be here forever if you really want. But when you are ready, you can go to the beacon in the center of the temple and face the final fight. This will end with the true completion of the game, and you'll go into New Game Plus at the end of it. But yeah, that's it. That's my best guide I could make for the Unmoored World, the main events, and all the important side quests that you need to do for the best results in the best order. Obviously, this will give you plenty of space to explore at your own pace and get whatever you want to do done before pressing into New Game Plus. If the guide has helped you then, please do drop a like. But until next time, I've been Hollow, you've been you, thanks for watching.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.